Welcome to Panther Pourri, the podcast where we're supposed to talk Panthers hockey, but sometimes we don't. Here are your hosts, Alex Lopez, Jake Langsam, and TJ Peterson.
Welcome to another bonus playoff edition of Panther Pourri. And before we get started, I just want to say thank you, Cam. Thank you, Josh. Thank you so much. And thank you, Carter Verhaeghe. 5 points, 2 goals, including the game-winning goal. Panthers come back from 3-0 down in the second period to win 5-3. They have a 3-2 series lead. The first time they've had a series lead in 10 years. Alex, how are you feeling?
Has it been? No, they had a lead against. Fuck, it's been 10 years. Holy shit! Yeah, they never had a lead against
The Islanders.
Holy fucking shit! Yeah, they were on the back foot that entire fucking series. God damn! Thank you, Cam. Thank you, Josh. Like Carter fucking Verhaeghe, just like making his mark on this series. My God, like what a performance.
Yeah, I mean, he is a franchise legend now, like, period, like, full stop. Carter Verhaeghe is one of the best Florida Panthers of all time. I do not think that's an exaggeration.
Well, they got to win the series. They got to win the series for the performance to be mythical.
Okay, fair enough. I think that we can go that far.
Because like Marcel Gottsch's game-tying goal in Game 7 in 2012, like that would have put him up there if they won the series, but they didn't. But it's like
he didn't have 5 points though. He didn't have the game-winning goal though.
Yeah, I mean, we need Elias Sports Bureau or whatever to tell us this is the first time a Panther has scored 5 points in a playoff game. I think it is, but
gotta be.
We need someone to tell us for sure.
Just insane. By the way, all 5 points, primary points. First assists on all 3 assists that he got. 2 goals. 17-24, 5-on-5 ice time, and that's when he got all of his points. I also want to go over this part because I really enjoyed it. Mackenzie Weegar and Carter Verhaeghe +5. Alexander Barkov +4. Claude Giroux +3. Aaron Ekblad -1. Is he overrated? Many people are asking. Not really.
You know what? I mean, I thought Ekblad had a very good game, and I thought Weegar was all right. I mean, he had some really bad turnovers again today, which he didn't do in Game 4, but he did it tonight. Luckily, none of them cost the Panthers. But yeah, this is why plus-minus is a bad stat. Because if I had to give, I mean, this is not going to be a negative podcast, but like if I had to give a minus for the game, Barkov would be one of them. Like he had a primary assist tonight, but that was on a shot. He missed the net that went right to Verhaeghe on the other side.
I'll have to watch the replay because to me it looked like that was definitely a pass. I mean, we know Barkov loves to pass.
You thought that was a bank pass? I thought he was going for the net there.
A bank? I thought it was a not a bank, but a saucer pass.
No, that was a slap shot that missed to the net to the left side and.
I thought you were talking
right
about.
Side. And Verhaeghe tapped it in for the first goal.
I thought you were talking about the 5th goal.
Did Barkov have an assist on the 5th goal? I thought that was Verhaeghe.
Verhaeghe scored.
No, Verhaeghe. No, Giroux had the 5th goal.
Oh, 4th goal. Sorry, 4th goal. Game winner.
Okay, was that to? Oh yeah. Well, no, that was a pass to Verhaeghe. I didn't realize that was Barkov. I thought that was the other line mate. You know what? When you're a couple of rum and cokes in, as my God, this game has taken at least 10 years off my life. You miss things like that, but yeah, Carter Verhaeghe. I'm not gonna be negative. Like Barkov was fine, whatever. Carter Verhaeghe, like you fucking God.
Okay, like can we stay in the negative corner for just a little bit longer? Because I want to say it, and like, please, people, hear me out. It's not me like going back on my what's it called when you're like getting up and you have your grievances. It's like an old
Festivus
something box. I can't remember the phrase, but whatever. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. I thought Sam Bennett was horrible in this game, and it's a very fixable problem. All he has to do is just stop trying to make everything happen on his own. Like I thought that there were a number of times where he turned the puck over where he could have kept it in the zone and they could have piled on even more pressure. And it was just really frustrating to watch it happen over and over again. But,
he
didn't cost them the game.
He wasn't great at all. Like, hard stop. Like, we don't need to get into detail on it, but he wasn't great.
Yeah.
However,
right. We can go back
they
to
won.
happy.
They won. Like, they won. Like, the last negative. And I don't want to make this an officiating night. I thought they were mediocre at best.
Wasn't the worst of the series. We'll put it that way.
It wasn't the worst of the series, but we had a now fourth goal that, swung the Capitals' way on a missed call on the Lundell, what should have been a goal wiped away because the ref blew the whistle too early.
And we can say definitively that it does not go the other way with the offside goal, because that was clearly offside.
Which one? The Hornquist goal?
No. The goal that was not counted because it was offside.
Yeah, no, that wasn't even close. Like,
right.
My seats are right on that blue line, and that wasn't even close.
Yep, and I'm on the other blue line, and I could tell. Yeah,
you cannot complain about a missed call that went your way when it was clearly like the correct call. When and then the Panthers case, like, that puck was sitting behind Samsonov. He was never covered. Like, the ref was out of position. That ref needs to be coming right behind the net looking for the puck. Instead, he stays in the corner and blows the whistle. It's a lazy play.
Yep.
It's a lazy effort from the official who cannot blow that call.
Yep.
I thought the officiating was mediocre, but I don't want to spend too much time on it. Like, that's it. That was the call. That was, the Panthers lost a goal there early. Who knows how the game plays out if it's 1-1 at the end of the first instead of 1-0. I thought the effort to get back in the game once down 3-0 was what we're used to seeing from this Florida Panthers team.
Yes, they were in their elements when they were down 3-0.
Yeah, they finished the first period playing that typical desperate Panthers hockey that we're so used to, where they're just like, all right, fuck it, we're going to control the play for the next 5+ minutes of hockey. Unfortunately, the period ended before they could get it tied. Second period starts, and the Caps get garbage goal in front of the net, where, of course, the ref can see it the entire time that time and doesn't blow the whistle. But, like, look, that's the right call. Like, that puck was never covered. Caps bang it home.
Yeah.
I didn't.
It's the key distinction when it's in front of the goalie versus behind.
I literally went to the bathroom, like, right as the opening faceoff after the 2-0 goal was happening. And I get to my seat, and it's 3-0. So I don't know what happened on the third goal. I know TJ Oshie, who shouldn't even have been playing in this game, had 2 tonight. And what I was told by the person who was sitting next to me, that he had a wide open one-timer. I don't know if that's exactly what happened or whatever. All I know is it was
a 2-on-1.
Got it. All I know is the Panthers, didn't stop trying. They didn't stop pushing, and they got the next goal. They made it 3-1. And then they made it 3-2, and then you could really feel the momentum switching. And it was one of those things, like, I should have tweeted it from the main account. And I was like, if the Panthers tie it at 3, they're winning 6-3. If the Capitals get the next goal, they're winning, 4-3 or 4-2, I mean. And of course, the Panthers got it tied, Verhaeghe again, or no, it wasn't Verhaeghe. Who tied it?
Sam Reinhart.
It was Reinhart. Reinhart, again, finding his groove in the series. He was pretty invisible the first 3.5 games, but he's got 2 huge game-tying goals in games 4 and game 5. Carter Verhaeghe, just like, my God, you're beautiful.
Yep. This man, like I said, now one of my favorite players of all time. Wow. And this is the first time I've ever been to a playoff game that they won. I was previously 0-3. My first was 2011 game 6. That was 2012. My first year at NYU, and they lost. Second was game 1 last year. Third was game 1 this year. And now I've finally seen them win.
Yeah, I've seen a few playoff wins. Obviously, I went to the 2012 playoffs. I'm pretty sure I went to some of the 96 playoff games. I know I didn't go to any of the finals games. I'm pretty sure I went to some of the 96 games. I went to every game in the Islanders series. So I've seen some playoff wins. I've never seen them win a playoff series. Hopefully I don't see it in the first round. Hopefully the Panthers can wrap this thing up in 6, because like we said, they finally have the upper advantage. They finally have an opportunity to close out a series. They have a lead in the series. They can close it out in Washington. That's got to be a really, really depressed Capitals team. Like, they had a 3-0 lead. They probably didn't deserve it, considering the pace of play was greatly favoring the Panthers.
They had a great start. They probably deserved to be 1-0 ahead, 2-1 ahead. The 2 goals in quick succession in the second period were not because they were controlling play. It was, one, like you said, a garbage goal. I don't even really need to get into why. That doesn't really mean a whole lot. And then the third goal, it's just an individual mistake, a bad change or something like that. I don't know. And it ends up in the back of the net. Like 5 other times out of 10, Oshie misses the shot or Bob makes an awesome save or something like that, and it doesn't end up going in. But I mean, you could also say the same thing about Hornquist's breakaway. And, 9 times out of 10, that puck doesn't, or on Barkov's shot doesn't come right to Verhaeghe on the other side of the net, that sort of thing. But, it shouldn't have been 3-0. There's no doubt in my mind that the Panthers were pretty neck and neck with the Capitals at that point, and they deserved to get back into it. And from then on, it was, only going to go one way up until maybe like the 9-minute mark, in which I felt like they kind of retreated a little bit too much. I would have liked to see them get at it a little bit more.
Caps carried play from when Verhaeghe scored what would be the game-winning goal till about a minute or two before the Giroux goal that essentially iced it. Like, the puck was in the Panther zone a lot. I mean, Sherratt saved another goal where I don't know who it was, had a wraparound attempt, and Sherratt again was there with his stick to knock it away from the front of the net. Like, Caps carried play a lot. They didn't generate that many chances. Like, when the Panthers control play, it's every 30 seconds they're generating a high danger chance. Like, I was saying that 7 or so minutes, the Capitals only generated like 2 or 3 premium chances, but like the Panthers didn't get any shots. Like, if they did, it was weak shots, like from far out. They had 0 zone possession time. Like, it was, let's hold on for dear life and let's just get the red line, get it deep, which is not how I like to hold on to leads. I like when, you have the puck and you don't have to be taking chances, but you're at least spending time in the offensive zone, because if you have the puck in the offensive zone, you can't get scored on.
Right.
But, I don't want to say the Panthers answered the question, can they win 2-1? Because obviously they didn't, but that's essentially what they had to do today.
Right.
They had to hold on to a 1-goal lead and face an onslaught from an opponent, and they weathered the storm.
I mean, an opponent with some of the best shooters in the league, the best shooter of all time, no question.
Yeah.
And then, like, some other really potent offensive players. And look, the Capitals have succeeded as much as they have in this series, not because of their offensive talent. It's because of their structured defensive play. And that was why they got out to the big lead early. And it's why they won game 3. It's why they won game 1. But they still have a lot of potent offensive players.
Yeah, this is a team, if they want to run and gun, they can. They just know run and gunning against this Florida Panthers team will almost certainly lead to their doom.
Right.
They've been very opportunistic this entire series.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know how often that can actually work. I mean, in this game, the expected goals, the chances, everything like that was pretty close. I mean, the Panthers had more possession, but high danger chances at 5-on-5 ended even, 13 for each team. Panthers had 21 or 31 scoring chances to the Capitals 26. And, that's not even incorporating the power play where actually, no, the Panthers had more high danger chances than the Capitals, even though, once again, Capitals scored a power play goal and the Panthers didn't in this game, but they still won. So
yeah, let's talk about that, the start of the game. I don't want to get too negative, but like, you tweeted about it, I tweeted about it. Like, how are you starting that lethargic in a game 5 in a game at home you have to win? Like, I expected the Panthers to come out guns blazing, and they came out with that same tentative, like, we're not, we're just happy to be here tentativeness, not the we're the President's Trophy winner, you're the 8 seed, go fuck yourselves, like we're gonna slam it down your throat. Like, what was that to start the game? And I don't want to spend more than like a minute or two on it, but like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I wish there was an answer to it. I mean, Andrew Burnett would probably be the first person to tell you, if he knew why it happened, it would never happen again. And maybe he does know why it happened. Maybe it will never happen again. Who's to say? But yeah, like it's just flat out not good enough. Like, this is a sport in particular where, despite the fact that the Panthers have done it again and again, like, you just don't want to get behind. Like, it's so tough to win from behind in this league.
Yeah. Like the Panthers basically controlled play from the 10-minute mark of the first period to pretty close to the end of the game, and they still lost the XG battle because literally in the first 10 minutes of the game, the Capitals put up an XG of just under 2.0. Like, that's really bad.
Really awful. I mean, the Oshie chance was like 0.5 because of the way Money Puck calculates power play stuff. Like, Natural Stat Trick did have the Panthers ahead 3.96 to 3.67.
Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of been the theme of the series. Like, I don't want to spend too much negative on a 5-3 come from behind win, but like the power play was dangerous at times, but they still haven't converted. Like, at some point you got to score a power play goal. I don't know the last time a team has won a series where they didn't have a single power play goal.
Yep. I mean, that's got to be an NHL record if the Panthers somehow win game 6 or game 7 and they don't have a power play goal in either one. That's got to be the first time in NHL history it's ever happened. But I mean, like,
I'm sure it has happened because like there's got to be like a fluky sweep where a team just dominated 5-on-5 and won in 4-0.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too far-fetched.
But like a 6+ game series where a team doesn't score a power play goal and wins it, like there's got to be less than a handful in NHL history, and there might be 0.
Maybe we'll have to get our stat team on that, which is just me. But I don't even
know.
Yeah,
Elias Sports Bureau, please let us know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just getting to the point where I'm not really even sure it's because the Panthers power play is playing worse than the Capitals one. I mean, look, all credit to TJ Oshie for scoring that goal, but I tend to think of deflections like that as pretty lucky. Like the Panthers have Sam Reinhart. He's just as good at deflecting pucks as anyone. He hasn't deflected one in this series. Oshie's deflected in 3. Is that because Oshie's just way better with hand-eye coordination than Sam Reinhart? Do you think so?
No. I mean, I'm not going to say that, look, some of Oshie's goals have like gone off his leg when he's not even looking at the puck, but like tonight's was a deflection. Like he was intending to do that. So I'm not going to take anything away from TJ Oshie as much as I'm not happy with him after the Bennett hit. But like, the Capitals are getting the bounces on the power play and the Panthers aren't. Like they had some dangerous chances today and they either missed the net or a puck bounced over a stick. Like there was a tap-in goal. I think it was for Reinhart.
Yeah, with the behind the back Huberdeau pass.
Yeah, and the puck just bounced over his stick and Reinhart couldn't, put anything on it and get anything on goal. Like everything is, I'm not trying to say there's like some galactic conspiracy, but like everything is conspiring against the Panthers in this series, whether it's a missed call, an early whistle, or whatever to keep the Capitals in it. But like they're just getting no fortunate bounces on the power play.
On the power play in particular, like I totally agree. Like we talked about how that first goal was somewhat fortunate, and there's other times in this game where fortune smiled upon them. I mean, the Capitals didn't score again after they made it 3-0. And it's not because they didn't generate anything. Let's put it that way.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not to the point where it's like DEFCON 1 with the power play. And I really don't know what else there is to do. I mean, were you upset by the fact that they had Ekblad on it all game? They did not once turn to the 5-forward power play.
Yeah, I don't want to call it upset because they did generate chances. I just don't know why you didn't go with the 5-forward power play when it's been by far your best power play throughout the season. In terms of chunk throughout the season, the 5-forward power play has been the best one. And in this playoff series, the 5-forward power play has generated the most chances. So I don't know why they didn't go with it today. They did generate chances. Obviously, they didn't put anything in the net, but like they generated chances. So we're a very process-heavy podcast, and if the process is good, the results will eventually come. And I thought the process was better today than it was in, games 1 through 3. So I don't want to say I'm upset that Ekblad was out there because they generated opportunities. They just couldn't get anything in the net.
Mm-hmm. In terms of process, I think the penalty kill is an area where they can improve. I mean, it's just been mediocre all season. But the Capitals really don't have that good of a power play. They have Ovechkin, and that's really all that should be troubling teams. Like, they've got talented players, but every team has talented players. Every team in the league. Arizona has talented players. Seattle has talented players. You can't be giving up 4 goals or 5 goals or whatever it is on the power play to TJ Oshie.
Yeah, I mean, again, I give him credit because I think deflecting the puck in front of the net is a skill. It's a legitimate skill. There's a difference between letting pucks hit you in the shins, like what's his name from the Devils back in the day when he had that 30-goal season.
David Clarkson. Yeah,
I like half the time I remember, half the time I forget. Like there's a difference between being David Clarkson, pucks just going off your shins into the net, and having that hand-eye coordination to always get a stick on the puck. Like Sam Reinhart has that hand-eye coordination. TJ Oshie has that hand-eye coordination. He's the best shootout player in the NHL for a reason. Like that's all hand-eye coordination. So I don't want to take away too much from him, even though some of them have just gone off the shins of the series. But like, the power play is, hey, John Carlson's taking a soft shot from the middle of the ice, and it's finding a way to TJ Oshie, who's putting a stick on it, and it's getting behind Bob.
Yeah, tie him up, somebody. I mean, he's in the middle of the net, the ice. He's right next to Bob. Tie him up. Like, it shouldn't be that hard.
There's skill involved in that, but there's also just like, hey, we're getting lucky. Because, like, the Panthers are trying that too. Like, Ekblad had a couple soft shots that they tried to get on Reinhardt's stick for a deflection, and, they either couldn't get the deflection or the deflection would miss the net. Like, that's the one thing, like, even with all the skill in the world, there's still an element of luck with deflections. Like, you can be the best deflection artist in the world, but you can't really control where the puck's going to go. Yes, by the way you angle your stick, like, you can either make the puck go up or go down, but, like, you can't say, oh, hey, I'm going to, I see a puck coming to my left, I'm going to deflect it, and it's going to go top corner or bar down or whatever. Like, that's not doing it. Like, you're just hoping to get it in. You're just hoping to get a stick on it and change the direction in a general area. And if it goes in, it goes in. If it goes wide, it goes wide. If it goes, if it was going in and all of a sudden hits the goalie in the chest, that's the hockey gods either smile upon you or frown upon you. And they've been smiling on TJ Oshie for 5 games so far.
Yeah, and they're clearly smiling on Carter Verhaeghe also. I mean, the overtime game winner in the last game, 2 goals, 5 points tonight. I mean, somebody's really made peace with the hockey gods at this moment, and that man is Carter Verhaeghe. But at the same time, like, he's playing awesome. And he's getting the legs going. He's getting into the heart of that 1-3-1 and really, really wreaking havoc, and deserved, to have a great game tonight, get on the score sheet multiple times, 5 points in a game. You really dominate a game to the extent that you can deserve to have 5 points. I think of like what McDavid did last night. But I mean, Carter Verhaeghe played about as well as an NHL player can play in a game.
No, he was the best player on the ice for any team tonight, and it's not debatable.
Yep.
I mean, I'm checking his XG share just to be sure, but like,
it was good.
Barkov was actually the best one in terms of expected goals percentage, which surprises me. But
+4 for Barkov, +5 for Verhaeghe.
I mean, Verhaeghe was above 65%, which nothing to sneeze at.
Definitely nothing to sneeze
also,
at.
Can we call out Samsonov for that embellishment? Like, you barely got touched on the helmet, and you acted like you got shot. We didn't see a replay, but based off of what we were texted, like, he barely got grazed on the helmet. Like, come on. You've got a fucking helmet on, Samsonov. Like, there's no reason to act like you were on shot on the ice for a good 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely sus that he was just down for 5 minutes and then, like, all right, keep him in the game. No problem. Oh, whatever.
That was one of those where, like, as soon as the trainer got to him, he probably whispered over, like, I'm good, guys. I just want to make sure that we got the call.
Yeah, probably. I'm trying to think of anything I want to get in here just at the ending, because we're about to wrap this up, but nothing comes to mind. Anything you think we missed?
I thought Maxime Mammon had a solid game, but his XG share was not great. So I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it. But like, in the time he was out there, I thought, like, Maxime Mammon to me is a not Marchment. So
Marchment.
Yeah, Mason Marchment light. He plays a very similar game. I would say he's a little more talented, but his IQ is not where Marchment is. So that's why Marchment is the much better player. But like, I think they bring similar things. I agree with the decision to put Mammon in the lineup over
Lomberg. Yeah, I think I agree with it too. And it looked pretty good today. I mean, he was a guy that was really keeping them afloat in the first 10 minutes of the game, like where they just could not get any sort of territorial advantage going.
Yeah.
And he was one of the guys that was just like skating after pucks on the boards in the offensive zone and just really being, relentless, taking no prisoners, which is something that I've seen the Capitals do throughout the series. And the Panthers, when they're struggling, they're not doing it typically. And I mean, that's a lazy take in some senses, and I'll own up to it. There's like, oh, when they're trying, they're winning. When they're not trying, they're losing. But it's like the series to me is coming down to how easy it is for the Capitals to exit their zone. And in the first period of this game, it was so easy. They were getting out of it with zero resistance. And I mean, part of it is just that the puck is never in there. So when they're getting it in the zone, it's like a dump in and everybody's changing. But at the same time, like, that's got to be a point of intensity. Like, you got to make sure that they're struggling, they're fighting for everything they get. No free lunch. That's how you're going to win the series.
Yeah, no, the Capitals controlled play the first 10 minutes of the game. Like, the Panthers never had the puck, and like exactly you said, when they did, it was get the red line, dump it in, so we could get fresh legs on who are also going to get pinned in the defensive zone for the next 45 plus seconds.
Yep. And Maxime Mammon was a guy that wasn't actually getting pinned. Like, he was getting after the puck on the forecheck to an extent that other guys weren't at that point in the game. And, maybe they've kind of learned to not necessarily play possum, but like let their opponents wear down, which is part of the reason why they come back in games so often. It's Jake's treatise on this, basically. So you can go look for his thread on it. And unfortunately, just a little bit of housekeeping here. It doesn't seem like Jake is going to be able to make another one of these game one recap podcasts. I don't think he's going to be back until, cross your fingers to a major degree here, a potential round 2 series, because even though they're up 3-2 in the series, they're going to be prohibitive favorites to advance. Like, my traumatized Florida Panthers fan brain is not going to allow me to think that it's likely, or, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop, basically. And I'm sure that in some senses you're the same way, but at the same time, we acknowledge how good this team is logically, and they should match up against anybody, let alone a team like the Capitals that's been fairly good, but nothing special this year,
Yeah.
All right. I guess that we're going to wrap it up there. Thanks to everybody for listening. We'll be back again. You want to try to do something tomorrow? We got a couple of people that have expressed some interest, so maybe we'll reach out and see if we can get something going tomorrow. Yeah, if we can get a guest,
let's do something. If not, we'll have the recap after game 6.
Yep, and we'll see if anybody wants to hop on for that. But yeah, oh man, that was great. Like, just final thought, that was great.
Yeah, final thought, that was great. Now we get some rest, watch the Heat play game, try to close it out in 6 tomorrow, and see if the Panthers close out in 6 on Saturday.
Your lips to God's ears. Right. Panthers in 6, Heat in 6. That's what we want to see. And if that's what we got the next time, might have to do a drunk pod. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next time.